Welcome to today's webinar, How to Use Data to Drive Actionable Results. On today's webinar, you will learn best practices for writing effective Facebook ads. You're also going to learn how to set up Facebook tracking pixels on your website, in addition to strategies for improving post reach with hashtags and keywords. You'll also learn about tools to help you save time through automation and scheduling, as well as advanced tips for growing your social media following. Now, my name is Carlos Gil. I am your coach, and today's webinar is brought to you by Social Media Career Academy. As you see on the screen in front of you, I do have a presence on social media, so be sure to connect with me, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat, or all of the above. I've spent the last 10 years working in brand marketing for several top organizations where I've had the honor of running social media, most notably at Winn-Dixie, Save-A-Lot, LinkedIn, and most recently BMC Software before starting up my own marketing agency in Gil Media. I've also spent the last 2 years working for Keller Williams as a MAPS group coach, and a lot of the information and content that you're gonna see here today, I have shared personally with thousands of Keller Williams agents as part of my social media for real estate agents program. Now, what are some must-haves for building a social media strategy? In front of you, you see what I like to refer to as the 4 quadrants of a social media strategy, and these are must-haves. And it starts with your personal brand, followed by content, followed by community, and followed by results. And it's really in that order. So if you go to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Carlos Gil TV, you're gonna see previous webinars that I've done on personal branding, content, and community. And today, I'm really gonna help you focus on results, because where I see a lot of real estate agents miss the mark is measuring their results. How do you know that what you're doing on social media is working if you're not measuring it? A lot of agents will go ahead and spend a lot of time on building their personal brand, creating content, they'll engage, and they'll do a really good job at steps 1, 2, and 3. But when it comes to 4, which is the measurement piece, you see a lot of them really miss the mark. Now, why does measurement matter to a real estate agent? And really for anyone, why does measurement matter? You see the bullets right there in front of you, and we'll start with the one at the very top of the screen. Content is what people see, read, and feel when they come across your personal or corporate brand online. So needless to say, it is virtually impossible when marketing online, including social media, to be able to drive people to go back to your website, to be able to refer you business if you're not pushing out content and if you don't have a presence. So content, when anyone online comes across your content, when they see it, when they read it, the feelings that they get from your content is really what determines if they want to do business with you. Now, content marketing is the tactic and the practice of driving awareness and interest to your brand based on what you post and when. Your personal brand is what builds trust and loyalty. This trust and loyalty is what will lead a new sale, and it's also what will lead to repeat clients. So obviously you're in business to sell homes, and your objective shouldn't necessarily be, how do I find a customer to sell them a home one time? It should be, how do I create a customer for life? So how do I get someone's listing, not just one time, but multiple times? How do I get a listing and help them also find their next home to buy? How do I help a buyer find their home and then get their listing when they're ready to sell, and then also sell them their next home? So repeat business is where it's at. And the way that you're going to gain a sale or those repeat clients is by, again, building up that personal brand, and through the content that you post, through the engagement that you're putting out there into this digital ecosystem. That's what builds trust and loyalty over time. And then finally, the last bullet point that you see in front of you is around analytics. So the easiest way to understand analytics, which you often hear these buzzwords such as impressions, likes, connections, comments, shares, clicks, and conversions, etc. Analytics are the outcome of the work that you perform on social media. And again, there's various forms of measurement. So anytime you start thinking through what's the ROI of my social media presence, from my perspective, the only ROI and the only metric that matters is the sale, but there's a lot that goes into really measuring the effectiveness of what you're posting. So let's just start with impressions. Impressions are the low-hanging fruit. That is a representative number of how many times your content has appeared in someone's newsfeed. Now, it's not necessarily a view. A lot of folks like to compare an impression and a view to being the same exact thing, but impression oftentimes means that your content appeared in someone's newsfeed. A like is an actual action that someone takes. So anytime someone likes your content, they had to physically click on a button. A like is what I like to consider not necessarily a warm lead. It's more of a cold lead. But the fact that someone took the time to click on a button is an indicator that they responded favorably to your content. And then a connection, needless to say, is someone that follows you, someone that connects with you on LinkedIn, someone that likes you on Facebook. A connection isn't necessarily a prospect or a lead, but someone that could potentially be a referral source of business for you. I would say for any real estate agent or broker out there, you should think about qualifying who your connections are. So if it's someone that potentially might be a referral source for you, maybe that's someone that you start engaging with more. Comments also is an important metric, because when someone tends to like your content and be interested in learning more about you and your business, they'll go the extra mile and they'll comment on your post. A share, needless to say, is great, because when someone shares your content out, they are now endorsing you and your content. So I'll give you an example. Right now, we're streaming this webinar over onto Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/the Carlos Gil from your computer, you're going to see this same exact feed. If you are connected to real estate agents, which most likely you are, and if you want to share this webinar as being added value to that relationship, go ahead and share it. You see the same principles apply in thought leadership and in marketing as they do in sales and in real estate marketing. Specifically, when people like the content that you're putting out and they feel gives them value, then instinctively they'll share it out with their community as well. So imagine when you have a listing, or imagine if you're doing a Facebook Live at an open house, whatever it might be, even thought leadership. In the last webinar that we did on content, I spoke about sharing thought leadership around, in your community. What are the average home prices? Where are the good schools? Where are the new communities? This is all content that adds value. And then clicks and conversions. These are perhaps the two most important metrics, because a click is when someone goes to your website or they fill out a lead form. A conversion is now when you've converted that connection, that content, that warm prospect into a actual meeting, and more importantly, a closed sale. So again, there's various types of analytics that you are going to see from the content that you post. And at the end of the day, the easiest way to understand analytics is it is the outcome of the work that you are performing on social. So how do you understand social media ROI? I'd say really focus on these 4 metrics. Again, impressions, number of times that you appear or your content appears in someone's newsfeed. Clicks being someone that visits your website or fills out a lead form. Leads are just that, someone who's interested in learning more about an opportunity to buy, rent, or invest in a home, or list their home for sale. And then the sale itself is a closed deal. So you see right there in front of you, the only metric that truly matters for most of us, if not all of us, is the sale itself. Now, this is your audience on Facebook. Less than 1% of brand page fans are seeing your content today. I know a lot of real estate agents out there will constantly ask me, Carlos, should I have a Facebook page or should I have a profile? And my advice to them is always have both. But you have to really know how to leverage that profile and that page. And the reason why is the content that you're going to post on your page is going to vary greatly from the content that you're going to post on your Facebook profile. Let's think about this. Your Facebook profile, the majority of people that are consuming content from you there are what? Their clients, their colleagues, their people in your professional circles, whereas the people that consume content on your profile are relatives, their friends, their neighbors, and the content's going to vary as well. Now, the important thing that you need to know is that Facebook today is controlling your reach organically on your Facebook page. In fact, less than 1% of brand page fans are seeing your content, and your audience is reminiscent of the gentleman that you see on the screen there in front of you. They're not paying attention. So I want to point out that you can't build a mansion on rented land. In fact, all of us, myself included, that use social media day in and day out to grow and build our businesses and find people to sell to, we are the digital equivalent of the Yellow Pages meets the modern day infomercial. And what I mean by this is Facebook is a business. They're in business to sell digital ads. So they now are limiting brand content in news feeds because they want to ensure that brands are going to pay for it. And yourself as a real estate agent or a broker, you are a brand, you are a business. And let's face it, Facebook now, because they are making more restrictions on their algorithm, are making it a lot harder for businesses and brands to reach potential customers. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you see the old school Yellow Pages, which is reminiscent of the 80s and 90s. I know my mom and dad, they are real estate brokers in South Florida. I grew up seeing my own parents' ads in the Yellow Pages. Well, today, Facebook is the new modern day Yellow Pages. And I'm going to share with you here in a moment how you can be successful in running ads to help your company and your services stand out in front of the right audience. For those of you out there that are familiar with the dating app Tinder, and even if you're not familiar with Tinder, how it works, I often compare sales and marketing today to finding your match on Tinder. So Tinder is a dating app where you kind of swipe through, you find someone that looks appealing to you on the surface, and then they do the same and you connect. Well, think of sales in the same light. Your objective is to find customers and to build relationships. One of the two, you can build relationships with people, and then through those relationships that you developed, you can go ahead and really tap into social media and the relationships that you build as referral sources, or you can go straight for the punch and you can use social media as a way to find people to sell to. Either way, what you're doing is you're leveraging these mediums to find the right type of person. Now, my advice to every agent out there is to really spend less time, or spend more time, I should say, and money listening to what's being said and also engage. So what I mean by this statement that you see is a lot of people make the mistake that they aren't using social media as a search engine. They're using it as really just a platform. And I'm talking about Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram. They're using social media primarily as a platform just to push content out. They feel that because social media is free, it's a numbers game. If you push out a lot of content multiple times throughout the day, that you're going to get, a lot of people looking to buy from you. And oftentimes the mistakes that a lot of agents make is their content's not targeted. They're not focusing on their community. They're not taking the time to truly listen and invest in having conversations with people who are potentially interested in their services. And I'll give you an example. Years ago, about 3 years ago, when I went to go work for LinkedIn, I was moving to the Bay Area in San Francisco, California. And I'd never been to San Francisco before. So I went on Twitter and I just simply tweeted, I'm looking to move to San Francisco for a new job. Does anyone have any recommendations on good schools and communities for young families? And obviously I had a couple people that reached out and said, you might want to check out this restaurant, you might want to check out the city. But there was a real estate agent that I ended up renting my house from that swooped in and simply introduced himself. He didn't even say that he's a real estate agent because it was very apparent in his profile. And he said, hey, Carlos, I'd love to help you out. Let me know when you get into town. And by the way, these are some of the different areas that you might want to check out. So that interaction is what led to me renting a home from this real estate agent. Now, if I was in the market to buy, the same rules will have applied. If I was looking to, even sell my home where I was moving from at the time, any agent in my community then, and I lived in St. Louis, by the way, should have reached out to me and said, hey, before you move to San Francisco, can I meet with you to talk to you about your options of potentially selling your home or listing it for rent? So think of social media right now as the world's best search engine to tap into what people are doing and what their interests are. You can go on Twitter right now and you can type phrases like moving to and enter your city in there. You can identify people in your own community that are influential. And when I say influential, I'm talking about insurance agents, doctors, lawyers, people who are well plugged into your community, and or people who are high net worth individuals that even if you don't sell a home to them today, tomorrow, next month, just being connected to them and having them know who you are is of value. So again, I want to reiterate, start spending more time and money listening to what's being said and truly engage. And the reason why I have the dollar sign on there for money is because, let's face it, it is a pay-to-play game, and you do need to spend money on advertising through social media to ensure that you're reaching the right audience. Now let's talk about Facebook tracking pixels for a moment. Facebook tracking pixels are a line of code that lives within your website. And if you've ever been to a website like Nike.com or Cole Haan or Macy's, and you look at an item and you don't purchase it, and then the next time that you go to Facebook, you start seeing that item pop up in your newsfeed as an ad, the reason for that is because that brand has a tracking pixel on their website. So a lot of folks seem to think that Facebook ads are limited to just the universe of Facebook.com, and that's not true. Facebook has partnerships with partner networks. So for example, if you want to advertise in business publications like New York Times, Inc., even your local newspaper, more than likely Facebook has partnerships with those sites. And then if you want to ensure that anytime someone visits your website, they go back to Facebook, that they see an ad from your company, that's where you have to set up a Facebook tracking pixel. So setting up a pixel is really, really, really easy. The first thing that you're going to do within Facebook is you're going to click on Create Ads. From Create Ads, you're going to go to your Facebook Ads Manager. And your Facebook Ads Manager is your hub for all things advertising on Facebook. It's where you go to create custom audiences on down to creating ads based on impressions, clicks, video views, etc. So once you're in your Facebook Ads Manager, at the top left of the screen, you're going to see an Ads Manager drop-down menu. You're going to click on that, and you're going to click on Pixels. From here, your pixel ID will be displayed on the top left of the screen, and you're also going to see an option for Set Up Pixel. So click on Set Up Pixel, and then you're going to see the following screen in front of you, and you're going to have three options. You can either integrate pixels with various sites which currently exist. So if you're in e-commerce, which I would imagine that most of you aren't, but let's say you have a Shopify store or you have a Squarespace or Wix page, which some of you might have your websites built on platforms like Squarespace or Wix, then you would just click on that top option there. Many of you out there probably work with a webmaster or developer through your broker. So you can either click on the option in the middle, and it's going to show you your raw HTML pixel code. You can take that, copy, paste it into your header section of your website if you do this yourself, or you can click on the bottom option and email the instructions to your developer. You just enter their email address, and then they'll send them instructions on how to install your tracking pixel. Now, this is more or less what your tracking pixel looks like. You see it here on the screen in front of you. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to copy your entire pixel code, and then you're going to go to the header section of your website on the back end, and you're just going to insert that code and then save. So once that pixel code is saved to your header section, you can now create Facebook ads based on different types of events. So let me describe to you how these events work. If someone visits your website and they take zero action, then an event can be once they go back to Facebook, they'll go ahead and they'll see an ad from your company. So for example, if I'm Amazon and you go to my website and you just kind of click around and you don't take any other actions, I can go ahead and at that point run an ad targeted to that visitor. Or if someone goes to your website and, for example, they get to the part where they're filling out the contact us form to go ahead and indicate that they want to go ahead and see a listing or they want to meet with you, but they don't fill out that contact form, then you can create an event where you'll have a specific ad. They'll say something along the lines of, I'd love to meet with you. Be sure to visit my website and take 10 seconds to fill out a contact form. Or better yet, send me a message on my Facebook page, and you can optimize this ad to have the send message button to where at that point, someone will go ahead and send you a message directly on Facebook, and they don't have to now go to your website. So there's a lot of things that you can do with Facebook ads and with pixels. In the Social Media for Real Estate Agents course that I do, there's an entire module on Facebook ads. So what you're getting here today is very much just a preview of that. But I recommend that you, at the end of this webinar, definitely familiarize yourself with what Pixels can do for you. And if you have someone that manages your website today, or if you have a sub page within your broker's website, just ask your broker or your office manager if they can set up Pixels specifically on your page. Now, Facebook ad optimization. We've talked about Pixels. Let's talk about the actual creative and the copy that you write on your ads. A lot of agents out there are only posting static image ads, or what I see, and this drives me bananas, is they create these like really, really long text-based posts that oftentimes people don't read. So my recommendation and advice to you is, for any time you are advertising a listing of yours on Facebook, meaning you've got a new listing, you have an open house, do what's known as a carousel ad unit. So a carousel ad unit, if you look at the screen in front of you, is to the far left, and you'll kind of see the preview of what it looks like. It is multiple photos from your listing. So for example, you can post photos of the bedrooms, the kitchen, the backyard, the pool, etc. Or if you have multiple listings that you want to promote in one ad unit. So let's say right now you've got 4 really hot listings, and you want to do one ad unit for those, and you're going to be targeting buyers that are potentially within the same kind of demographic range. So let's say all these homes are kind of priced at the same amount or in that neighborhood, no pun intended. Or let's say hypothetically that you're looking to promote a community that has newer homes. Then with this carousel ad unit, you can have multiple listings that each link up to a different website or a different page experience. You can customize the look and feel of each one of those ads, but it's one ad with various kind of sub ads within. You can also do a slideshow or a single video. So I'm a big fan of videos on Facebook because they tend to stand out. Let's think about this. If you're at an open house, it takes you no more than maybe a couple of minutes, maybe a minute and a half, to pull out your iPhone and do a video tour of the key features of that home. Then you can put that video on Facebook, maybe put $20 to $50 behind that boost. And by boosting your post or running a Facebook ad for that video, you'll now get different features that you don't get organically, such as the send message button. You can add in there the learn more button that when someone clicks on, it'll take it actually to your website. So you can also create lead page forms with your ads. So my recommendation and advice to you is that before you go ahead and you just post a static image on your next listing Facebook ad, think about creating a carousel ad with multiple photos, or even a video ad as well. Now, the key to Facebook ads is to keep your ad copy short. So I've got some different examples that I'm going to share with you. The first is, do you know someone that's in the market for a home? If you're looking to tap into Facebook ads to go ahead and generate leads, keep your copy super short and make it an open-ended question. So think about taking your next listing, drop a Facebook ad with even $10 budget, make sure that your ad is reaching a custom audience, and then ask in that ad, do you know someone's in the market for a new home? A beautiful situation would be someone sees this ad and then they tag a friend of theirs, which instantly becomes a warm lead. The next is, what features would you like to see in your next home? Now, you don't necessarily need to have a picture of your own listing. It can be someone else's listing. It could be a stock photo for all intents and purposes. It could be, new construction. It could just be a plot of land. But asking people in a roundabout, open-ended way, what features would you like to see in your next home? People are going to start talking. They're going to start conversing. Every single time someone comments on that Facebook post or on that ad, consider that a lead. That's someone that you should absolutely reach out to and immediately strike a dialogue with them and ask them directly through private message if they're looking to buy, rent, or sell at the moment. Now, the next is for an open house or for a video. Keep it very simple. Watch this beautiful 4-3 tour and then the address of the home. The reason why you want to put the address is someone might be interested in going to see that home right there and then, provided that you are the listing agent. It's fine if someone goes out and sees the home on their end. If they like the neighborhood, if they like the aesthetics of the home on the outside, and chances are they're going to contact you anyways to go ahead and see it. Another kind of short, engaging Facebook post copy is, will you help me help others achieve the dream of home ownership? If so, tag a friend. I've seen other agents successfully do this. It's something that I recommend that you do on a frequent basis. Think about doing this maybe every other week. You can also do this when someone that you close a home on is at the title company. I see a lot of agents posting content of their customers at the title company with their keys for their new home in hand. So think about maybe doing a post where you spotlight a customer or a client that you recently sold a home to, and then ask this question: help me help others achieve the dream of home ownership. Tag a friend. Another kind of short, creative post copy is, what do you like most about this listing? By asking that question, you are almost ensuring, guaranteed, that people are going to take the time to look at that listing to then let you know what they like the most. And then last, big backyard or big garage, what's your must-have feature in a home? You can either create a poll on your Facebook page asking this question, or you can go ahead and just leave it very open-ended. If you ask, what's your must-have feature in a home? By doing this, whether someone's in the market or not, most likely they're going to say things like my living room, the bathrooms, master bedroom, garage, backyard, etc. So the key is to make sure that you're asking these open-ended questions and ensure that your copy is short. That way people will see it and they will be enticed to go ahead and comment. Now, what are some different tools to help you save time and measure success? First of all, Google Analytics. It goes without saying that you should be using Google Analytics to view the number of unique website visitors that you receive, when, and from where, in order to determine if you're reaching the right audience. So let me break this down for you. If you start looking at your metrics on a weekly or a monthly basis, now you're going to be able to determine which are the days of the week that you're receiving the most visits to your website. So maybe you should align your social media posts with those days, or perhaps it's an indicator that on the days that you post more content on social, you're now seeing an uptick in visits to your website. And that's great. If you're seeing that, then you either want to double down and post more content, or on the days that you're not getting a lot of visitors because you're not putting a lot of content on social, maybe you want to start doubling down and posting content on those days. Then where are your clicks and your website visits coming from? If they're coming from out of market, then chances are you're reaching the wrong audience. Chances are you probably should be running some targeted Facebook ads. You should ensure that your content has certain hashtags that I'm going to cover in the next couple of slides. But it's really critical that you analyze where your visits are coming from. If they're coming from the market where you do business, that's a good thing. Next is Buffer Pro. So buffer.com, you can go there and you can sign up for a free account, which I believe you can use just one social media account to schedule content. I actually pay for Buffer Pro. It's about $15 per month. And with Buffer Pro, you can connect up to 8 social media accounts, and you can schedule posts in advance to those accounts. So the majority of people out there have a LinkedIn, a Facebook page, a Facebook profile, a Twitter, and an Instagram account. That's 5 social media accounts right there. So with a Buffer Pro account, you can connect up to 8 accounts, and then you can schedule your posts in advance. Now, in full disclosure, one of the biggest objections that I hear all the time from real estate agents is they say, Carlos, I would love to be more active on social media, but I just don't have the time to be active on social media, which is why I always turn to them and say, it's about working smarter, not harder. So Buffer, you can use as a mobile app. You can have it on your desktop. What I do every single Sunday is I'll sit through and spend an hour on Buffer, and I'll schedule all my content for the week. If you get in this practice, or if you do this while you're at an open house and there's downtime, then you'll always be ahead and you'll always ensure that you have content that's going out on your social networks. If you're looking for a platform that's much more advanced, look into Sprout Social. With Sprout Social, you have advanced management capabilities. So, for example, I'll hear from brokers or office managers that want to be able to have access to post to every single agent in their office, to their Facebook pages, or on their Twitter. So with Sprout Social, you can post to 10 plus agents' accounts. You have a little bit more flexibility with how many agents or how many accounts you can connect. You also have deeper analytics and insights. So why do you want to have deep analytics and insights? Once again, it goes back to what I said with Google Analytics and identifying where your visits are coming from. Same thing with social media. You want to be able to see where are people following you from, where do they live. If you are in Tennessee, but the majority of your followers and the people engaging with you are New York, Chicago, and LA, then you're not reaching the right audience. And you need to focus your efforts on ensuring that your content gets in front of that local audience. And then Hootsuite is one of my favorites because with Hootsuite, you can set up listening dashboards to help you identify prospects through certain keywords and phrases. So you can create a dashboard for anyone that tweets out looking to move to Chicago, if you're in Chicago, or looking to buy in Los Angeles, assuming you're in Los Angeles. Whatever city that you're in, you can go ahead and create these dashboards. So anytime someone posts along with that phrase or those phrases or keywords, they'll go ahead and they'll pop up on that dashboard. Now, what are the top hashtags and how to use them? First of all, you're going to want to start using hashtags not only to post content, but also to search. In front of you, you see some of the top hashtags that I've identified for agents that work the best. For example, hashtag real estate, hashtag new home sales, whichever broker you work for. So whether it's, Keller Williams or Coldwell Banker or Remax, you might want to start incorporating these hashtags into your content. Hashtag realtor, hashtag realtor life. And then your city and state, if you want your content to be seen by people that live in your communities where you live, you absolutely should use hashtags for these cities. Anytime that you have a new listing, you should go ahead and also include hashtag new listing or hashtag just listed. An open house, same thing, hashtag open house. If you do this more often on platforms like Twitter and like Instagram, you are going to get more organic views because there's people that instinctively go on Instagram or they go on Twitter and they're not necessarily following you, but they're following these hashtags. So make sure you start incorporating them into your content immediately on Twitter as well as on Instagram. You can also use these hashtags to run searches. So if you're looking to identify who might be people that are looking to buy a home, who are other agents that are active in your community, also start running some different searches. So if you want to see what's happening in Nashville, Tennessee, you go on Instagram, type in hashtag Nashville or hashtag Nashville TN. If you want to go ahead and see who's an active real estate agent in your community, go on Instagram or go on Twitter and type in hashtag Miami Realtor or hashtag Miami Open House or hashtag Miami New Listing. Playing around with these combinations is time consuming. But again, if your objective is to grow a brand long term, then you need to take the time to invest in seeing what are other agents posting, who are the agents that are most successful and most commonly known in your community so you can meet them and hopefully be much more like them. But then also, if you're asking yourself how to get more eyeballs on my content, again, the magic is in the hashtags. Now, what are some next steps for you? And I'm going to open it up for questions in just a moment. I do have a private Facebook group. It is a free group for you to join, so make sure you go to facebook.com/groups/social media realtors. This is a social media for real estate agents mastermind Facebook group. So be sure to immediately join the group at the end of today's webinar. And if you want to get the most out of the group, please introduce yourself upon joining. Next, be sure to connect with me, Carlos Gil, on Facebook for a free Facebook page audit. So you can go to my page, which is facebook.com/the Carlos Gil. If you go there, send me a message, say what's up, let me know that you were on the webinar, and send me a link to your Facebook page, and I'd be more than happy to go ahead and do a free audit for you. And then last, be sure to register for the Top Producer Mastermind today. So I say today, and I'm emphasizing it because the program starts tomorrow. So if you've enjoyed today's webinar and you want to go much deeper into learning about how to grow your personal brand, how to create content that converts, how to be effective in running Facebook ads, and how to go ahead and be the most searched agent in your city or town, you absolutely should invest in the Top Producer Mastermind. So once again, we kick off tomorrow. The course is an online-based course where you have 4 modules, including weekly Q&A calls. So it is self-paced. All lessons are recorded. They include workbooks, and they are available for playback at your convenience. By signing up for the course, you do get access for an entire year. So if you sign up today, you'll get access for the next year, and that will include all the updates. And we are running an offer. So if you sign up today, you'll be able to lock in the price of $495 for the next year. So if you go to socialmediacareeracademy.com, click on the products link and enter in the code VIP50, you will save $500. And again, this offer is only good for today. If you go tomorrow to sign up, you'll be paying full price. So once again, my name is Carlos Gil. Thank you so much for taking part in today's webinar that's presented to you by Social Media Career Academy.